Your poison is exactly my antidote. This isn't poetry. This is what 2 birth charts reveal. In Hollywood, the average marriage lasts 20 months. This couple has ruled global pop culture for 20 years. We all know what happened in between. What no one has explained is why they're still together. Today we skip the gossip. We start from the bottom of the system. An ancient Eastern energy framework. A complete audit of 2 of the most powerful people alive. They're not together because of love. They're together because apart, each of them loses something they need to survive. She didn't forgive him. She just realized that anger and leaving are 2 different things. You think you're soulmates. The chart says you're each other's infrastructure. The most powerful partnerships are never 2 whole people coming together. They're 2 broken systems, each missing exactly what the other has too much of. These 4 statements, I'll explain all of them in the next 10 minutes. The system I'm using is called BaZi, an ancient Eastern wisdom that has existed for 4,000 years. From the exact moment you were born, it maps every cycle of your entire life. Every 10 years, a shift in fate. Every single year, a movement in fortune. Career, wealth, health, marriage, none of it missed. 4,000 years. It has been doing exactly this. Today we use it to answer one question. She went through all of that. Why didn't she leave? The answer is not about love. Let's start with Beyoncé. Her core energy in this system is one thing: life force, the kind that pushes through concrete, the kind that does not know how to stop growing. But look at her birth chart. There is a truth here that is almost suffocating. 4 forces, cold, precise, and sharp as blades, pressing inward from 4 directions at once. Constant, unrelenting, 4 machines running simultaneously. In the center, 1 fragile plant. 8 months of preparation for Coachella, 10 hours of rehearsal every day, back on stage 3 months after giving birth. You think that is perfectionism. It is not. She was not born a perfectionist. She was born surrounded by 4 walls of pressure, and she learned to turn that pressure into the only way she knew how to survive. Her perfectionism is not a personality trait. It is a defense mechanism built from the inside out. You think 35 Grammys means fame and glory. It does not. That is her proof of survival. Every single one of those trophies is a piece of breathing room she carved out from inside the machine. The chart showed her at 23, the pressure briefly lifts. 2003, 5 Grammys. That vine grew its first crown. The chart showed her at 43, her energy completely redefined. 2025, Cowboy Carter. After 40 years of fighting steel, she didn't just break the rules, she swallowed them. The chart was set on the day she was born in 1981. These 2 years were always written there. But her system has always carried one gap: nourishment. She has everything, and yet she has never known how to let go. Without nourishment, those 4 walls of pressure are not just weight. They are blades. But underneath all of that pressure, she burned into something else: fire, the most scorching part of everything she has ever made. Now look at Jay-Z. His core energy is a polar deep ocean, cold, vast, absolutely still. Everyone sees the same Jay-Z, the one who never flinches, the one who always has the answer. But here is what the chart reveals. That coolness is not a personality. His entire energy field is frozen. He never writes his lyrics down. Every complex rhyme, every layered line, formed in his head in an instant. He walks into the studio and records. This is what I call cold speed logic, a supercomputer running at the bottom of the ocean. Precise, efficient, zero emotional interference. But this kind of power comes with a cost. He cannot express. In his music, in his life, Jay-Z almost never shows raw, burning emotion. For someone whose entire system is frozen, every vulnerable expression, every intimate word costs an enormous amount of energy. The chart showed him entering a power expansion cycle from 30 to 39. The blueprint, president of Def Jam, Rock Nation, an empire built from nothing. But before he met her, that ocean had no temperature, vast, powerful, a monument of ice with nothing alive in it. You can build wealth with logic, but making wealth means something requires the one thing he could not build: warmth. Without fire, he will always hold the most expensive scepter in the world and never feel its power. With fire, he stopped being a cold operator. He became a godfather with actual weight. Now we reveal the real logic underneath this marriage. She is missing nourishment, water. His core energy is water. He is missing warmth, fire. She naturally carries fire. This is not fate's romantic arrangement. This is two broken systems locking into each other at the molecular level. Your poison is exactly my antidote, not poetry, the precise reading of two birth charts. The most powerful partnerships are never two whole people. They're two broken systems, each missing exactly what the other has too much of. You thought you were soulmates. The chart says you're each other's infrastructure. 2016. The whole world found out. The whole world asked, why didn't she leave? Here is what the chart reveals. The worst fracture in that marriage happened during the most turbulent cycle in Beyoncé's chart. This was not a coincidence. It was written into the structure. The chart shows that in the cycle she entered at 33. The star representing her husband started moving restlessly. She didn't forgive him. She just realized that anger and leaving are two different things. Lemonade. She told the world, I am hurt. 444. He told the world, I know. Everything is love. Together, they told the world, we're still here. In the chart's logic, this is called injury is when energy moves the hardest. It is also when creativity burns the brightest. The chart does not care if you love him. It only asks one question. Without him, can your system still run? 2016. Lemonade. That wasn't bad luck. That was a debt. Paid in a different currency. Right on time. This is why. Even after a betrayal the entire world witnessed, this system did not collapse. Not because of love, not because of children, not because of money. Maybe somewhere in the deepest layer of instinct they both sense it. Apart, what remains is a drought and a cold that neither of them can face alone. When ordinary people hit a rough cycle, they lose their jobs, their savings. When they hit a rough cycle, they lose something else entirely. At this level, bad luck does not take your money. It arrives in a different form and collects what you care about most. But the chart has already written something else. Starting in 2029, Jay-Z enters the most turbulent decade of his life. That supercomputer running in the deep sea, the one that has never failed in half a century, will face its first direct thermal shock. His empire will hold. That is the inertia of wealth. But the cold speed logic that made him a legend for the first time, it will be forced to run slower. In that moment, he will need that fire more than he ever has before, not for warmth, but to help him navigate the most dangerous transformation of his entire life. Without Beyoncé's fire as a buffer, that transformation is not elevation. It is evaporation. Today we only analyze the marriage section of their charts. In the charts of people who reach the very top, there is always a special structural code. 1. A commercial empire built into the blueprint, using ice-cold calculus to build a global wealth engine. 1. An artist's architecture that grows stronger under pressure, using extreme defense to break 40 years of industry rules. This system wrote all of this on the day each of them was born. Every birth chart holds its own answer.